I'm Brian Johns.
I'm Tara Johns.
We're out here at the Optima Search for the Ultimate Streetcar Invitational at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. We've ran a series of events all year leading up to this. This is our pinnacle event for the year, and beautiful facility, and we're having a ball out here. So I competed in 3 events leading up to this event. The first one was Atlanta Motorsports Park. The second was Road America, and the third was the National Corvette Museum. I earned my invite at Atlanta Motorsports Park, actually won the GTC class at all 3 of those events, and became the 2020 GTC points champion. Out here at the Invitational, we all run for a class cup, but we're really lumped together as one group that is running to be the ultimate streetcar.
I ran 3 events with the Optima Search for the Ultimate Streetcar series, and the first one that I ran was at Atlanta Motorsports Park. So I also ran at New Orleans Motorsports Park, and the reason why Brian didn't run at that one is because we had a broken car. What was the last one? Oh, the National Corvette Museum. So I ran 3 events as well leading up to this, and now of course I'm at OUSCI, which is the Invitational, which is the ending of the year for everything.
So the Optima Search for the Ultimate Streetcar series events are a 5-segment event, and those segments consist of an autocross, design and engineering. We have a road rally, and that's a good chance for everybody to prove that we're actually driving streetcars. We have the Hot Laps Challenge, which is on the big tracks, like the one here at Circuit of the Americas. And also we have a Speed Stop Challenge, which is an acceleration and braking challenge. My favorite event is probably the Hot Laps. It's not my strongest event by any means, but it certainly gives me the biggest adrenaline rush. I tend to perform the best at autocross because my background is autocrossing primarily. We actually both started autocrossing at the same time in this particular red Miata behind us back in 2002. And as a matter of fact, the very first set of tires that we bought the autocross on were the original Falken Azenis.
Yep.
So here we are 18 years later on the brand new RT660s. And man, they've come a long way.
So my favorite, I would say my favorite is autocross, but again, that's because that's what I have most of my experience with. And I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, autocross-wise.
The RX-7 was actually one of my best friend's cars, and I helped him build the car to compete in SCCA events. We built the car, I believe, in '07, and I began co-driving with him in '09. And we continued co-driving together through 2014, and I continued to campaign the car for another year, actually with Tara as my co-driver in the car. She's actually won a national championship in the RX-7 as well, which I was never able to do in SCCA, so she's kind of one-upped me there. But then I got involved in this series, and have actually since purchased the car from my friend. We continue to make improvements on it. It's a part of the family now too. It's probably never going anywhere either.
So the Miata is a 1995 R package, which is a package that was offered from Mazda, and it's a rare one. It's like one of a
465 were built in '95.
Yeah, and so as far as appearance-wise, it still looks pretty much like Mazda would have made it, other than the hood.
The hood and mirrors and a few little tidbits here and there.
But now it's turbocharged, which obviously that wasn't the case from Mazda. For this series, we've done some things as far as it's got Lotus Elise seats in it. We did that just to get the seat position lower. Yeah. Yeah,
so it's a 1.8 liter. It's actually a stock bottom end on the motor. Yeah. This car only has 52,000 miles on it. And so nothing crazy done to the motor other than being turboed. This particular setup on a previous car that I had it on made 225 at the tires. The RX-7 is a 1993 RX-7. It's a base model car which doesn't have the sunroof, which is actually best for this type of racing. You don't have the weight, you don't lose the headroom. It's still a 2-rotor. It's been converted to a single turbo. It's got a Borg-Warner EFR 8374. Obviously got all the fueling and ignition mods that have to go along with the kind of boost we're running, which is about 21 pounds of boost. It's got an electric water pump on it now. It keeps this thing super cool. But the car's got, I mean, the suspension on it's amazing. It's got Coney 2812 race shocks, which were actually a shock originally developed for Formula One racing way back in the 80s. So the car kind of felt at home out here on an F1 track. No rubber left in the suspension anywhere. Everything's spherical rod ends or bell rim bushings, and we've got some tubular control arms on it. And then probably the secret sauce for this car, we have flared the fenders front and rear. They're actually factory metal, but they've been massaged enough to be able to put 315s on an 18 by 11. It's super lightweight, so it weighs about 2,660 pounds. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it'll just about outhandle anything in this series. It just doesn't have the power to go along with it. I had some guys following me through the S's here today that said there was no way they could touch me. So it proves how good this car is in the turns. Yes, we actually, like I said, the first set of tires that we purchased for this car for SCCA competition, we were just running local autocross events, were the original Falken Azenis RT660s, and they were phenomenal in the wet, they were phenomenal in the cold. They were a great tire. After that, we moved to our compounds and ran the car in a class where those were legal for many, many years. It's great to be back on the street tires. Actually having cars that we could pull out of our garage and take down the road when we want to now without changing wheels and tires is kind of cool.
Absolutely.
You show up to a Cars and Coffee or something in one of these cars and they get a lot of looks.
I've been on the RT660s all year because the smaller sizes have been available for a while. So I kind of had an advantage because I got to run in them before Ryan did. But unfortunately, I ran most of the events in the rain. But the tire actually did phenomenal in the rain. I was really shocked. I mean, NOLA, I'd never been on that track before, and I just kept pushing it every session. I was like, man, these tires just keep taking it. I mean, so I've really been impressed with that. And of course on the dry, they are really great. And for me, on the autocross, it was kind of a low grip surface is the best way to describe it, but I also have lower horsepower, but that tire performed really well on my car for that. We sold a house in a subdivision. It's been 4 years ago now, I guess. Yep. A nice, normal suburban house, and we bought acreage out in the middle of nowhere, and we built essentially a pole barn. It's a 4,200 square foot building, a metal building, that we put a 1,200 square foot apartment in one end of. So we essentially live in our garage because we have a lot of cars. And
so yeah, we have 1,200 square foot of living space and 3,000 square foot of garage space. So you see where our priorities lie.
Yeah.
So we actually call our house the car apartment.
Yeah.
It's an apartment for our cars, more so than for us. So the name car apartment kind of stuck.
Yeah, so if you want to check us out, we're on YouTube, Instagram, and it's Car Apartment Life on all social media. We're on Facebook as well, but I mean, he really does that.